I'll go a little bit even back so that I bring you up to a stage where we are right now. We call it a digital journey. We call it a journey because we started way back in 2018. The first thing that we did was to centralize motor insurance information, and we came up with a platform, a system called Integrated Motor Insurance Digital System. The purpose of this is to centralize information on the insured and on the vehicle itself, from underwriting and claims, if there's a claim from a vehicle. Then we had two more modules. One was certificate module, which we knocked off. I'll just mention about that slightly after this.
Yes.
Then later on, we had claims registration or notification model, which we want to talk about right now. So once we centralized information on motor insurance, we felt that we needed to do something. And the problem at that point was how to distribute motor insurance. You may remember that when Corona surprised everybody, physical movement was not possible. In our mode of business, the way it was, there was physical movement of agents, of brokers, of insurance companies to come to the association, procure the motor certificates in a physical form, take them to their offices, safe store them, and distribute bit on requirement to brokers and the like. So what we did was that it was some sort of a premonition, I don't know, but it came at the right time because we had started some months earlier. So when Corona came, we struggled. First of all, we had to try it. So we went to the pool and started swimming.
Okay.
It didn't take us long to go to the other side of the pool.
All right.
Then by March, April, already we were on the digital motor insurance certificate. And the purpose of this is that the certificates now, even as we talk now, you can pay your certificate and get it where you are. So that was the first convenience that we did. So once we did that, we realized that what do we do next? Our most important connection and our most important stakeholder is consumer. We thought of how to come up with an application that will ease the process of claims reporting. And we call it claims registration application. And that's what we want to talk about right now.
And before we delve into that, you touched on the impact of the pandemic, and we saw a number of insurance firms come under financial strain due to the same, owing to rising claims and depressed premiums. How has that situation evolved?
You see, that was a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
All businesses. I think even insurance was not as hard hit as hospitality, which came closer to its knee, travel, which came closer to its knee, if not to its knee. So given the global phenomenon and the scenario that was there, insurance navigated this. And I think the business, when the bouncing on started, I don't think there is any major thing. We are already on the ramp and moving. Okay. But like any other business during that period, last year, 2020, was like a lost year to everyone globally. Thank you.
Okay. Now, even as we think about the insurance claims, motor insurance claims space, let's go back to the traditional way of doing things. What was this that was a sticky process that we really needed to move away from?
Thank you. First of all, it was physical movement. We had to, as consumers, I'm also a consumer, you are a consumer. So when there was a claim, one had to move to an insurance company or go to the intermediary. And by intermediary, I mean either broker or an agent, or themselves directly, if you are directly insured, to an insurance point. either intermediary or to the office of the insurance company, obtain a hard copy called claim form. That claim form had to be executed and then taken back for the normal process to start. We want to break down that up to a point where you report a claim at the point of the happening. Within some seconds, we will be able to report the claim, and it will reach, as a notification, it will reach the insurance company at that point in time. Yes.
Okay, so that introduces now the digital way of doing things,
Yes.
which is what we're referring to as the
Yes,
claims.
it's called the claims reporting application.
All right, how
CRA.
does this work?
CRA works in two ways. One, first of all, it is a web-based application. You use your mobile phone. Once you use your mobile phone, depending on which phone you have, you will get mainly three types. Two types broadly, but iPhone comes in and has its own store. Then Android has its own store, Play and App Store for iPhone. And then the old type, which, is mainly, you will find it mainly prevalent in the village where, the old type, the non-smartphone. So assuming, let me take Android. You go and register. Actually install the application in your phone, just the same way we install Uber, Jumia, you install it. After installation, you now register yourself. Assuming I'll use Android, once you register yourself, you will give your information as the insured. It is recorded. Then you go to the vehicle, which becomes the subject matter of insurance. You put the details of the vehicle, starting from registration number, model, chassis, color, all those things that are in the logbook, features that are in the logbook. You register that. Once you register that, you now ask yourself whether you have a driver, nominated or employed driver. You add the details of the driver. Up to that point, you pause. Now your information is with the insurance. We centralized with the insurance company from AKI, because all members of AKI who happen to be the motor underwriters, that information is centralized at AKI. So we are taking a case of 1st of January. You start, either the policy is renewed or the policy is being incepted. It's a new policy. So you start from there. But what I want us to do, even the viewers that are watching us, you can take out your phone, depending on which one it is. Then we will start. But before we start, I've not touched on the third group.
Okay.
The third group of the old type non-smartphone. You star 352 hash, you send, then register claim. The process is very easy. You just go up to then you register. It will require certificate number. You put it. Immediately you put, because already at the backyard, there's centralized motor information, which is stored under integrated motor insurance database, which I had alluded to earlier. So that information will be picked automatically. In addition, you might have either renewed, or you introduced a new motor. When you take the certificate, your information is also there. So there's no way we are going to miss your information. Okay. It will be pulled from the database, connected as you register. The information will be verified, and it will be stored.
Okay.
From the beginning. That one we can even do right now as we go through this.
All right.
For my viewers who are there, you can try. They are very easy steps. So up to that time, you pause, and your information is there. We are not wishing that accident should be there. But in the event, we will deal with that later.
So are we saying with this app, we are also getting rid of the intermediaries, so to speak?
Not really. We are making rules, we are actually loosening the process of physical movement. When we were developing this and at various stages, intermediaries were actually involved and engaged at various stages. So they are part of this. What it is stopping is now the insureds or the customers will not be going physically to the offices. The intermediaries, they will be able to connect through the application because it's a web-based with the intermediaries. So we are not removing intermediaries in the field of play. Yes.
So for those that are wondering, okay, so what does this app bring that actually changes how business has been done or business as usual?
One thing that stands out is that you will not move where you are right now or at the scene of the accident. That information will be relayed as accident happens. So one is timeliness. Secondly, it removes off or eases the physical movement. What happens at the scene of the accident? We have gone up to a point where now you have app on, you have registered your information.
Yes.
You have registered the information of the vehicle as they appear in the logbook. If there's some information gap or variance between what you are feeding in and what we store, there will be alert that something is not in order. So it is a good way of, first of all, even confirming the how genuine your cover is. So at a point of claim now, assuming that, let me take for example, it has happened along Langata Road. At that point, the application has got various features that will aid the process. What is the first feature? The first feature is that at the point of the accident, you are able to video and have pictorial evidence that the accident has happened. You will take the parts that are damaged with video or pictorial. Once you do that, already your information is there. The application also geomaps the location of the accident. So there's no way somebody is going to say, I had an accident in Moiben, yet it is along Langata Road. So it geomaps the scene of accident. It helps everybody, even in the point of investigation, even the police authority, because we have service providers notification. And at the end to end, because we have just started, we intend to include everybody in the ecosystem of motor claims into the fold. So once you do that, you take the scene of accident, even a witness. If you have the app, you can go and witness, pick the information that is there, relay the information. At times, the accident may be a fatal one. Whoever was inside is not able to help themselves. Even a witness can trigger the section for service providers. Who are the service providers here? We have the towing companies, breakdowns, who will help with a vehicle that has been involved in and can't move, to be towed to the safest place. There is ambulance, the most important, and also hospitals. We intend to bring the hospitals on board so that in case of emergency, it will be very, very easy for the injured passenger or the injured insured to be rushed to hospital. It will be connected to the police authority for purposes of clearing the road and other things. So it has got a lot of capabilities, all packed into the application.
All right, so the accident has happened, we've done due diligence, and all the information has been captured in the app and now is in the back somewhere with somebody.
No, once you do that, you submit the claim.
Yes.
Because already your information is there.
So you still have to physically submit
No,
the
no,
claim?
no, 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 no. You are doing this on the phone.
On the phone.
On the phone.
Okay.
So already, you see, the problem is that connecting the vehicle and the person who is involved in an accident, that is already stored. Okay. So what you are going to do, it will prompt you, and you fill in the few areas that are remaining, scene of accident, what time, the videos, you upload everything. Because even the time when the accident happens will appear in the pictures, in the pictorial capture. So, and you submit that. The moment you submit that, it goes directly to the insurance company, and it becomes a notification. The insurance company will create a unique reference number, which may turn later on to be the claim number, so that your claim is uniquely identified. So the information will reach the insurance company within the shortest time possible when you submit. So that's one of the advantages. Instead of waiting until you will be able, probably you are taken to hospital, you take there to 1 week, it will be done. Even a witness can assist and give some information about the claim, so that insurance company is aware that this is forthcoming.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, this normally is it's a thorn in the flesh. The process has been a thorn in the flesh, especially when it comes to the follow-up after the fact. In this case, the accident we're talking about. How now does the customer or the insured get updates on what's happening in the back end?
Actually, this is one of that is one of the most important convenience that will come, because after that, the report, the claims progress can be monitored.
Yes.
Even by the insured, so that when the vehicle is stored from the scene of accident to a point where maybe to a garage, an assessor is also within the web. An assessor will be notified, a chosen assessor. Assessor is the person who assesses the level of damage to look at the vehicle. Once the report of the assessor will be loaded and sent to the insurance company will have the assessment report within the shortest time possible. So we think that with time, most of insurance companies will be able to outlive the 3 months period that legally is allowed for insurers to pay claims, because information will be easy to upload and everybody will be connected. Everybody within the system will be connected. So we expect a lot of expedience, a lot of ease of reporting claims and even processing. Yes.
So Birian, let's talk about now the insurer, because I think this will also be an advantage to them too in this way, and perhaps you can correct me if I'm wrong. You also deal with a lot of fraud cases,
Absolutely.
where somebody says a car was in an accident, it was written off, and then you find out it was a collusion with other stakeholders. So how is this going to also help the insurer?
Let me unveil the dark side of insurance in terms of fraud. This has been one of the biggest problems. It's not only in Kenya, but it's more rampant in Kenya. And for your information, for a long time, there are people that probably their business is to cook claims, skillfully make them through. And such people, they go for very expensive vehicles, Range, V8. You will find those vehicles to be over 10 million. They are placed strategically. This is their business now, and they used to go through. From the time we started issuing digital certificate, one thing that has happened, a vehicle cannot be given certificate twice, genuinely, because it will be refused. It's just like your ID or your thumb. So we have reduced the level of fraud that used to come in through same vehicle being insured by many insurance companies with the intention of claiming. So with this process, because the scenarios that used to make the fraudsters to thrive was because of lack of information. That information will be here now. So when an accident happens, the time will be there, it will be geomapped, the police will be informed, the towing, the hospitals, everything, so that we will be able to confront the fraudsters with facts. Yes. So it is likely to improve. I'm not saying that they will be eradicated completely. That has not even happened worldwide. But we are going to reduce the numbers to manageable level. I presume.
Okay, now we talked about those that don't have smartphones, rather, and there's the *352# option. So what happens to those ones now, because there's no application for video pictorials?
You know, since this is a web-based, and it would, for it to work ideally, it would need a platform. So with those, with the old type of phone, non-smart, you start 352 as send. You will be taken to register claim, and you go through the process. Certificate number. Insurance company will be able to pick some information, not full information like videos, because there's no capability in the non-smartphone. But some information about this claim will be reported. So they are not left behind. And as we move on, we expect most people to move to the smartphone world. Yes.
And speaking of which, now that a lot of things are going into the digital space, what has been the uptake so far?
We started this on 1st of September. One of the reasons why we are here, because you can have a very good system and it is kept, is closed in the closet. Nobody knows about it. So one of the reasons why we are here is to talk to the motorists, talk to the insurers, talk to the consumers, so that they are aware that this exists. And I expect, as I go back to the office, that already some people are on their smartphone trying to register. And within this week, actually, I'll call you and tell you we have moved from point A to B. We hadn't done this. We are doing a multifaceted campaign, even through other media channels, social and the like. So we have a program of public awareness and education week or month to talk to the public about this, for everybody to be aware. Just like Uber, have it ready so that in the event, I mentioned earlier, we are not encouraging fraud gates to come in and say, let us now use this. No. Keep it. When there's a genuine accident, use it. It's easier when you do it early, when you are relaxed. Have the information stored there, the information of motor vehicle, your information, and nominated driver, to keep it there ready. So if an accident happens, you will pick up from there and do the few steps and submit.
Okay. Now, even as we bring this conversation to a close, I think it is important that we also understand some of the best practices perhaps you have borrowed from other markets that you've seen this work, and what has been the outcome overall to the industry.
I think one of the greatest things that we have to move on to, particularly for service industry, is digitization, digitization, digitization. That is where everybody is moving to. You are aware within the region, Kenya seems to be, and region I mean EAC, and part of COMESA. Kenya seems to be one of the African countries that have got a lead in this. So other neighbors are looking at us. So as we do this right now, I think we are going to enable even the neighboring countries to come on these platforms. Talking about global benchmarking, some of these things come in as a problem. You try to solve a problem, then you realize that there's still another problem, and you move on. And I mentioned the journey. First of all, we realized that we had a vacuum of information. So we centralized that information. In another 1-2 years, I think in terms of motor insurance performance and statistics, facts and figures, we will be in a better position through this digitization. And this is not the end of the journey. We are going to pick another one, another area of problem, and we move on. to make it easy and convenient to consumers and even insurers.
Okay,
Yes.
so as a consumer, I'm looking forward to see how this app will revolutionize how we actually do insurance. Thank you for this
Welcome on
information.
board. And I think by the end of the day, you will
Eh?
have registered.
All right.
Yes.
Darian Akwir, Senior Manager General Insurance at Association of Kenya Insurers. And we have been talking about the newly launched claims registration automation application. As you've heard, things are going digital and things are going to get easier when it comes to those motor claims. And now, when we come back, the digital space is changing so much, including disrupting automotive trends. What am I talking about? I'll be joined by Alex Mwangi, my colleague on the business desk, to give us more tidbits on this and hear from a client who is delving into this space. Stay with us.